Hey everyone, welcome back to Yusuf Reacts. I'm Lois and today we're diving into the world of Bollywood with a review of the much anticipated film, The Archies 2023. If you're a fan of drama, romance, and a touch of musical magic, you're in for a treat. Before we jump into the review, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our movie updates. Now, let's get started. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me give you a quick rundown of The Archies 2023. This Bollywood flick revolves around Mr. Hiram Lodge returned to Riverdale, and he planned to change the entire town by building new plazas and hotels. Mr. Lodge was a true blue capitalist, and all he cared about was benefiting from the deal, even if it meant doing something that the residents didn't want. Mr. Lodge had a secret meeting with Mr. Dawson, a member of the local council, and he told him the plans he had for Riverdale. Mr. Lodge's wife Hermione proposed that the hotel that they were planning to build shouldn't be situated on the outskirts of the town. She wanted it to be located in the heart of the city, and she proposed that it should be built where the historic Green Park was located. Mr. Dawson knew that it was going to be an uphill battle for him, as destroying Green Park was not something that people would like. Since the time John Riverdale leased the land from King Suhana in 1914, children planted trees in Green Park every year. Riverdale was an Anglo-Indian community, and most people stayed even after India gained its independence. Green Park was deeply rooted in the town's tradition and history, but still, Dawson told Mr. Lodge that he would try his best to get the motion passed as the latter decided to fund his campaign for the election of the district contractor. Dawson needed only 5 votes to pass the motion and give the tender to Mr. Lodge's company to build the hotel. He knew that, by hook or by crook, he would have to lure in the council members to do as they wanted. The residents were totally unaware of this plan to destroy a place that was no less than a local heritage. But before the construction of the hotel, Hiram had planned to make a plaza, where Pam's salon, Susie's flower shop, and house bookshop were located. He contacted the owners of the place, who in turn gave notice to their tenants to close their shops, or match the amount of rent that Mr. Lodge was going to pay. Veronica is Hiram's daughter and is best friends with Betty. Veronica gives a party at her house, inviting Archie, Jughead, Dilton, Reginald Regimental, Moose, Meech and others. Archie doesn't like that Reggie treats Dilton like his manservant. Reggie has a crush on Veronica, but she only has eyes for Archie. Ricky is Reggie's father and is the editor of the local gazette. Betty's father, Hal Cooper, realized that he would have to shut down his bookshop as he didn't have the money to pay his landlord. Betty blamed her best friend Veronica for it, though the latter had no clue that her father was planning to do something like that. Betty claims that Veronica's father does not care for the people of the town and says the same things for Veronica as well. Veronica went to her mother and she made sure that Hal got a job in the new bookstore in town. This was the sort of relationship Veronica Lodge and Betty Cooper shared. Their common love interest was Archie Andrews, but the feelings they had for him never created a rift between them. After Veronica came back to Riverdale, Archie was confused, and he did something that he shouldn't have done. He double-dated Betty and Veronica for quite some time, though Jughead Jones time and again told him that he shouldn't be doing that. Ethel has a crush on Jughead, who works at Pop Tate's as a waiter. Ethel warns Betty that Archie is two-timing her, but she refuses to have any doubts on Archie and believes that he will change. Archie, Betty, and Veronica were on a mini vacation with their friends. When Betty saw Archie and Veronica getting intimate with each other, this was also the vacation where Reggie admits that he knows that Dilton is in love with him. Just a few days ago, Betty had kissed Archie, and she believed that he too had feelings for her. But now, after seeing what he did, she didn't know whether he was just confused or toxic enough to cheat on both of them. Betty's problem was that no matter how angry she was with Archie, the moment he came and apologized to her, she couldn't help but leave behind all her anger and agree to whatever he said. Betty was smitten by him, but one day, she decided to tell Veronica the truth, as it was eating her from within. The moment Veronica got to know that Archie had kissed Betty, she was furious, as she hadn't imagined that Archie could do something like that. The girls caught Jughead and forced him to tell them the entire truth. Jughead spilled the beans and told them how Archie dedicated a song to both of them, and how he said that he loved them equally. Both the girls went to confront Archie and told him that he should immediately stop doing things that created a rift between them. They both asked him to just be their friend, as they valued their relationship way too much. From the very beginning, Archie wanted to go to London to study, and he knew that he wouldn't have any problems as his Uncle Ben was living here. Archie's parents, Fred and Mary, didn't like the fact that their son didn't want to stay back at Riverdale. But when they saw the kind of obsession he had for going abroad to pursue his studies, they too decided to let him do what he wanted. But then, very soon, the news that Mr. Hiram Lodge was going to destroy Green Park became known to the general public, and Archie had a change of heart. He felt as if he were abandoning his friends for his own selfish interests. Archie always believed that the grass was greener on the other side. But for the first time, he realized that it was greener at the place where it was watered. He felt that he owed a lot to Riverdale, and he couldn't leave the town to its fate when the time came. So Archie took the hard decision to not go abroad and decided to stop the unsympathetic capitalists from destroying the park. Though the council had 5 votes in favor of building the hotel in the park, there was another hidden clause that could stop them, which Archie and his friends hadn't known about for a very long time. One of the council members, who wasn't happy with the state of things, told the kids that if they got some 4500 odd signatures from the residents opposing the construction of the hotel, then Mr. Lodge would have no option but to stop. Reggie writes an article against the council proposal, but Ricky refuses to print it. Since Hiram Lodge is the biggest advertiser in the Gazette newspaper, and without that money, the paper would not survive. Reggie and Archie suspect Veronica of being the insider in their group, who is revealing their strategy to Hiram Lodge. Veronica confronts her father, who says that his money is what pays for her lavish lifestyle. But Veronica says that her friends hate her because of his actions. Eventually, the group figures out that it was Ricky's pa who was the insider, and not Veronica. Mr. Dawson tried his best to prevent the teenagers from getting the signatures, but Archie and his friends were relentless. They went door to door, organized a fair on the park. The citizens of Riverdale voted against the construction, and Mr. Lodge had to inevitably stop. His own daughter was a part of the protest, And though he knew that he wouldn't be able to make as much profit as he had dreamed of, he was happy that he lost to his own daughter and that she had the determination to stand for what she believed in. It all ended well for Archie and his gang, and their conflict against the establishment made them learn some major life lessons. Not only did they save the environment and the natural habitat, which served as a home for so many species, but they also realized that not everything could be bought with money. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow movie buffs.